Well, hello, it's Wednesday, so it must be time for Woolly Hats Wednesday WIP, and you join me here in the champagne room watching the sunshine in the garden. We've just been to see Bodleian Gardens and looked at the autumn colours, and they are fantastic, so if you're in the area, it's well worth a visit. And when I was there, I wore my latest hat. Ta-da! So isn't that lovely? It's made with aran yarn, and it's merino aran yarn, which is quite nice and snuggly, and it's Mothy and the Squid, and it was in my stash basket, so tick for doing that. And it's lovely and warm and cosy. The only thing is, it's not that brilliant in wet weather because it tends to stretch a bit, so I don't wear that in wet weather, so I took it off when we had a little shower. But it is lovely and warm. It'd be nice for crisp winter, autumn days. A hat that is good in the rain, and something you might have seen me wear earlier, is this lovely hat here. And this is made from some yarn I bought in Stornoway a couple of years ago, and it's wool from the sheep of the wool shop owners Croft. So how wonderful is that? Not quite sure what the name of the sheep were, but they're her sheep, and it's a mixture of hebridean and cheviot. And the reason I wear this when it's a bit wet is that the hebridean cheviot is quite a lot of llanolin, and therefore it sort of repels rain, so it's not waterproof directly. If you had a big heavy storm, you'd still get a bit wet, but it doesn't expand and bag as this one would. So this is a nice one to wear when it's a bit showery, and that's got a nice pattern at the top. I quite like that, like a bit of cable. So there's my hat news for today. What else have I been doing? Well, I've been doing lots of work on this. You might remember I bought this kit at Yarndale in September, and I started it almost immediately, but I had to put it down because I had some other things to finish. So I've now done 8 of these lovely babies here. So this is the main sunflower motif. I need to do 16. So the first bit is quite easy to do, it's just going around in circles, but as you get bigger and bigger, it makes more and more time. So I've done 8, and my dear friends, I've woven in the end, so I don't have to do it at the end. Isn't that fantastic? So yeah, so really enjoying doing that. Lovely colours, and really nice to work with. So I'm enjoying doing that. So it's something that you can pick up and put down and do here, there and everywhere. But because there's a lot of colours, it does mean that it's not something you might take on the train, because there's a lot of things that you need in your bag. However, I'm not on a train, so that's okay. So what else I've been doing? Well, see, I've made great progress. This is the final bit of the front of this jumper I'm doing, using my stash and doing a fair hour technique, and I'm nearly at the end of this bit. I've just got to do another row of that pattern there, and then I'll be at the end. But I just thought I'd show you, because I'm mentioning blocking last week. So this is the front, which I've blocked, and it's nice and flat, and you can see everything quite clearly. I have woven in some of the ends there, and this is the first bit of the one side. You can see it's all curly there. So by blocking your work, it means that it's less curly, so when it comes to sewing it up, you can see what you're doing. So the way I blocked this was I dampened the yarn, the fabric, and laid it out flat on a towel. You could use some play foam, that the kids play on, and I pinned it out so that it was sort of the right size, and you could do that from looking at the pattern, and then just left it to dry. I did put a tea towel on the top, so if anything, a cat or a bird, because I put it outside on the table, got on, it wouldn't mark it. So that makes it nice and flat, and you can see it, and it sorts out any bumps and lumps, and it's great. So that is the difference between blocked and unblocked, all curly whirly. So there you go. So that is that there. What else has been going on? Well, I've had the knitter. I plop through the letterbox every month, full of exciting things. So what have we got in this month's exciting thing? And I did not. Oh yes, I do quite like that. So that is sort of an Icelandic Nordic style jumper. It's by Uti Kater, who I think is Finnish or Norwegian or whatever, and it uses Jameson's 2-ply jumper weight yarn, which is the Shetland wool that you get in Shetland, unsurprisingly. But it's quite nice subtle colours. There's these yellows in there and browns and greens, so I might have to keep that one, perhaps, to add to the list later on. So the other thing I noticed was this shawl by Sasha Cargan. Sasha Cargan lives in Mid Wales, and I bumped into her, literally, well, not literally, but almost, there's a place in Llanolin, Wales. Mr. W, what's the name of it? Minerva. Llanidloes, and it's Minerva, isn't it? Yeah. So there's a lovely crafty place that does mostly quilting, but they do other exhibitions, and she had an exhibition there, not of her knitting, but of her crochet, and I bought one of her books. But this is this is a typical of Sasha. She does lots of tarsia work. So that's not like the Fair Isle where you're just working with 2 colours at a time. You can be working with any number of colours over the cloth. So I quite like that. This is all Rowan felted tweed, which is a lovely yarn to work with. However, I'm not really a shawl person, but that would be quite a nice design to do on a jumper or a cardigan or even a cushion cover. So there you go. So you don't have to, if you like a pattern but you don't like what it's made into, you can adapt it to something else. So there's something else for me to add to the list. So plenty to do. We've also got more next steps for crochet starting this evening, and we're doing chevrons. So we like a bit of a chevron, and doing lots of other things in the next three or 4 weeks. So that'll be good. So I'm looking forward to that. So now it's time to prepare for that and do a few other jobs in the house. But I'll see you next week. Bye for now.